Hi, welcome back to this Dogecoin course. In this chapter, we are going to be talking about blockchain and more specifically the Dogecoin blockchain. Blockchain is what makes Dogecoin and other cryptocurrencies and other blockchains technologies more secure and allow people to transact between each other in a trustless way without relying on a centralized party like a financial institution or a bank. So in this chapter, we are going to demystify what is Dogecoin and what is a blockchain. Dogecoin technology is not very complex, and Dogecoin is actually very similar to Bitcoin in terms of the technology. These blockchains are possible putting together a handful of cool technologies that once put together, they create the possibility of having a blockchain and having a cryptocurrency. These technologies are digital signatures, cryptography, encryption, hashing mechanisms, and consensus mechanisms. Dogecoin is a blockchain that acts as a distributed ledger that allows a recording of some data and transactions and creates a possibility of having this trustless relationship where parties that maybe don't know each other can transact and simply trust the network. And how can this be achieved? Being a distributed system, Dogecoin's network keeps the ledger in a peer-to-peer network where thousands of computers that are connected to each other can keep an updated ledger, an updated version of the ledger. These network computers are also called nodes, and anyone can be a node. The ledger is shared across all these nodes in such a way that each node or miner can verify the individual transactions and audit the blockchain. So you can see these nodes as accountants, okay? Let's imagine that you have an accountant to keep the records of your money, to track who do you pay to and how much did you pay and how much did you receive. Imagine that you have only one accountant. You need to really trust this accountant because this accountant may cook the books, change something for his own benefit. And to have one accountant in these decentralized worlds will be an issue. But now imagine that you have 10 accountants. And 10 accountants are these 10 nodes that keep the ledger, right? That replicate the ledger, that replicate your accounting system. If you have 10 accountants, now it's much more secure because to trick the system or for them to create any fraud, they would have to come together. Now imagine that instead of 10 accountants, you have 1,000 accountants, which is the Dogecoin case. In the Dogecoin network, there are currently around 1,000 full nodes. And these full nodes, they keep the ledger, they keep everything updated. These full nodes are the accountants. And if you have 1,000 accountants, it's pretty hard to convince them to commit some fraud altogether because they work in consensus. They all need to agree what is the truth in the blockchain. Okay, now let's talk about blocks. And why do we call it blockchain? Because we have blocks of data that are chained between each other. Okay, so the Dogecoin blockchain, and actually most of the blockchains, can be seen as an old paper book, as you see here, where each page is linked to the previous page with the code. So you see here, basically, we have this code of the previous page, and we have a block hash, and then we have the next page of the book have the previous hash that was in this page. Try to imagine like this is an old paper book, right? Where each page refers to the previous page with this code, and we call this code a hash. The book is the blockchain, and each page is a block. Each page of the book is a block that are connected between each other with this code. And each line in the page is a Dogecoin transaction, for example. Because each page refers to the previous page with this hash code, it is very easy to detect if a page was removed or changed. Pages refer to the previous page in such a way that makes it easy to detect and prevent malicious activity. Since pages are stacked on the top of each other, it's very tough to tamper with old pages. So you can see this as every time you have a transaction and every time you create a new page, you have a unique code for the data that you have in this page. And then the next page is going to have this code, right? This hash. If anything in the previous page is changed, that code is going to change. So it's very easy to check if anything was changed. And this is from where the immutability of the blockchains and of the Dogecoin blockchain and all the other blockchains come from. Okay. Dogecoin uses SHA-256 to link the pages of the book, that is the blocks, and for mining it uses a different algorithm that was inherited from Litecoin, the script algorithm. We are going to take a look at this script algorithm later, but I hope that this will give you a good view of the Dogecoin blockchain. And generally speaking, blockchains are decentralized, they are transparent, they have these consensus mechanisms to keep all the nodes together and agree, they are peer-to-peer, and they use a block data structure. So they are distributed, meaning that it's distributed across many computers, many nodes. Later we are going to deploy Dogecoin nodes. They are also pseudonymous, meaning that your real identity is not on the blockchain. Instead, it's like a wallet address or a public key. They're generally very secure. Blockchains like Bitcoin and Dogecoin were never hacked. What is hacked is perhaps wallets or the computer where people keep the private keys. They are fast and global because you can now transact between people instead of relying on a financial institution that will take maybe 1-2 days to send a transaction. You can rely on a blockchain and it takes only a few minutes. And also blockchains and cryptocurrencies are permissionless and public. Permissionless means that anyone can participate, anyone can be part of the blockchain, anyone can be a node, anyone can be a miner. And public meaning that anyone can see the data. So I can download the full Dogecoin ledger to my computer and I can audit everything. I can check all the transactions. I can track all the transactions. And I can even use one of these websites like blockchain explorers that are websites that are basically a window to the blockchain network. So next, let's talk about why do we need Dogecoin? So join me on the next one.